Good evening.
Good evening. I'm the person that triggered the meeting which caused the district attorney's office and your police department to be summoned by Supervisors Rowan. It started by Women's Month. Women are being commended for their performance. Then it was my turn to speak. I pointed out how I'm speaking up for women who are on the receiving end of being raped and got a minimum of 437 rape kits at the Hall of Justice that's not being tested. I've watched the educational show pertaining to victims of rape, pertaining to Bill Crosby. And I watched one of the females cry out for help and said, is there anybody out there that can help us? Because every time we complain, we keep getting hit with the statute of limitation. As a result, I went to the law library and found that there's this law that's called continual injury. Continual injury means the statute of limitation is told because you can still demonstrate your injury. As a result of me making that demonstration, Supervisor Rowan set up a hearing. I also pointed out that there's another way of getting around the statute of limitations pertaining to fraud. If you show that you tried to correct the problem within a year from the incident, the statute of limitation is told there too. So as a result, a hearing took place. And at that hearing, I pointed out the same set of facts, and I also pointed out that there should not be no statute of limitations on rape in the first place. When the police were talking about their number one priority was car break-ins, and I said that they got the values mixed up. Rape should be a higher priority. You got all these victims of rapes, and you got all those rape kits, which I suspect to be about 1,000 or 500, just sitting there, and those are the easiest type of cases to settle. Now, as a result of that demonstration, I also pointed out that there's a white-skinned colored male that just got arrested, and he killed on or about 15 people and raped on or about 50 women. That's another example why there should not be no statute of limitations on rape. This person has been at large for 42 years. I didn't know his name at the time because I just caught the last part of the news, but I heard of the crime that he got arrested for. Turns out his name is Mr. D'Angelo. So after that demonstration by myself, being overseen by Supervisor Rowan, on or about a week later, the legislators in Sacramento who was watching that hearing came down with new legislation that there's no more statute of limitations on rape. And I want to commend Rowan for that, for giving me the opportunity to express the way that I need to express myself about this topic. Now, you had a police officer that claims that $2 million was granted to the police, and the police forward that information to.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker. Thank you very much.
Well, I got a question for you, too.
Well,
we need to know just how many rape kits are at the Hall of Justice in the police department. And
thank you, sir. Next speaker. What we'll do is, why don't you direct that question to Captain Yen? I think he's still here. Is Dominic still here?
and then $2 million
Okay, sir.
grant money, too, that's just sitting there.
Okay.
Supposed to be spent.
Thank you. Next speaker, sir. We need to share. Lieutenant Yamaguchi will take your question. Thank you. Next speaker.
So I'm a man called Clifford. This is going to be tangential to the ICE event and the sort of policies and the priorities, as the man just said. It seems to be the case that the police are more concerned with harassing mentally disturbed individuals and harassing and attacking women than they are with dealing with child rapists. On May 17th, the SFPD were protecting and abating known child rapist and former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak. So the SFPD is going around being all big and tough to homeless people while they're protecting the enemies of not only San Franciscans, but the American people. So the SFPD is engaged in treason, which is war against the people. I see we have a lot of legal scholars. Do any of you all know what the punishment is for war against the people? Anyone? It's capital punishment. Anyone know what capital punishment is? That's execution. So all the police and everyone up here by association is subject to capital punishment under the law. If you call yourself law enforcement, you should understand that. I assume you've read the Constitution, which is the law of the land. And another thing, as far as Chief Scott saying he doesn't know who got the porta potties. I was talking to the man who claimed he got them, who was former military, allegedly. So when you ask, oh, did the city get the porta potties? And it turns out it was military personnel that might have had a hand in it. And you say, oh, I don't think the city did it. I didn't know. You're being dishonest and disingenuous. So Chief Scott, you've been kind of duplicitous, kind of dishonest. And so I'm here to say that the police need to be abolished. I'm not here to try to get the police to wage nicer war against me. I want the war to stop. When someone is engaged in war against you, options are to kill them before they kill you or get them to surrender. The SFPD is engaged in war against the people, and that's treason, and the punishment for that is capital punishment. And you all know what to do. Turn in your weapons, surrender over, and abolish this criminal terrorist organization.
Thank you. Next speaker.